wow. Just when I thought they couldn't top episode 10, they do this. Now, granted, it didn't top... It nearly topped... I should say that. It nearly topped episode 10 for me, but this... Wow. Now I'm really hoping that the finale does not disappoint next week when they do the entire full hour finale. I'm really hoping this doesn't, fall apart at the end. Because, oh my god, this was really good. Now, it did have some minor problems, but it was tiny little nitpicks as always. So, pretty much, also, as always, guys, there's going to be spoilers for these episodes, so if you don't want to listen, because I imagine that as of this recording, this episode just premiered about an hour, 2 hours ago as of this recording. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I'll give you a few minutes to go check out the episode, then you can come back here and watch it. So, or if you want to, you can stick around for the spoilers if you don't care about spoilers or if you've already seen the episode, so I'm going to stop talking for a few seconds. Okay, so I'm guessing if you're still here, you want to be spoiled or you've already seen the episode. So, let's kick things off with Mako and Bolin leaving Ba Sing Se, which has gone to all hell. Like, it only took a few minutes. Like, all I'm thinking of is the Bane theme. Like, Desh, Basha, Basha, while the whole city's going to hell. Like, I'm having flashbacks to Dark Knight Rises. And it really went to hell in just a few short hours. So, Zahir, and we're trying to wonder what this whole message is to Korra. Zahir wants Mako and Bolin to send. So, Mako and Bolin, first off, have to get out of the city. So they find an airship and commandeer it, which, by the way, Bolin thinks of something smart while at the same time being stupid. It's something almost like Sokka would do, where he tricks some people ransacking a airship, and he says, hey, the Queen's Gold is on the third floor of the palace, second door to the left. I'm like, that's something almost Sokka would do. But still, Bolin had his annoying moments in here. I mean, he didn't grate on my nerves like in all the other episodes. Like, it's always been Bolin that's been my problem with these episodes the most. But this time around, Bolin didn't annoy me. Yay! In fact, he actually kind of helped the plot in one way. Again, yay! But here's where I kind of like the moment of disbelief happens, where Mako and Bolin have an airship on, are trying to commandeer an airship, and suddenly Mako and Bolin know how to fly the damn thing. Like, they suddenly, like, oh, there's an up button, beep! Yeah, so I was like, really? They couldn't have had, like, some people trying to get out of the city, and one of them just happens to be a former airship pilot? I'd have believed that, rather than, oh, everyone can fly an airship, which, by the way, had a lot of its shit torn out, by the way. I don't know. That's just one of the nitpicks. So, as they're leaving Ba Sing Se, Bolin suddenly remembers, oh shit, we have a family, we gotta get him out of there, because the entire lower ring is about to go up in fucking flames. So Bolin goes down there, and Yin, their grandmother, does not want to leave, and they're trying to get him out of there, and Bolin is still trying to convince his grandmother, look, you've still got your family, that's your home. And to which Yin goes, I'm not going. Then Bolin's like, oh, fuck it. And then just grabbed her and leads the family onto the airship, and they manage to escape before the fire destroys their home. And I can understand their grandmother's sentimental value, because that was where her entire family literally lived and started. So I can totally buy that, she didn't want to leave, but they kind of made her the comedic relief, and kind of made her a little annoying. Because she still has a lot of faith in the Earth Queen, I guess. And, yeah, and the last thing she takes is a picture of the Earth Queen. Which, I'm like, really? The picture of the Earth Queen? You didn't want to go for, like, a picture of your deceased son and your daughter-in-law? Just throwing that out here, guys. Just her, just the Earth, okay. Alright. But anyway, so Mako and Bolin find their way, retrace their steps back to the Misty Palms, where they find Asami and Korra, who's also still with Lin, Tonrock, and Zuko. Which it's also kind of interesting to see Zuko, like, Mako and Bolin freak out like they're seeing Brad Pitt or something. Well, then again, I guess Zuko would count as like a rock star of the Four Nations because he helped stop the 100-Year War and brought the Fire Nation to a world of peace. So I can understand why people would be so like freaking out to see him. So that's really cool to see Zuko get some respect. That's really cool. But anyway, so we find out that we finally find out what the message is. We finally find out what the message Mako was told by Zahir to send to Korra. It is flat out, if you don't turn yourself in, me and my group and my crew, we're gonna wipe out the airbenders, every last one of them. So, yeah, they're wiping out they're going to be wiping out airbenders, and they're trying to get a hold of Tenzin, and they really are trying to get a legit hold on Tenzin. And Korra is still struggling with, should I just turn myself in and save these pretty much an endangered way of life from going extinct again, or would we, where was I going with this? Or should I try to find my own way to stop them? So she, in bullheadedness, decides to attack. She wants to attack Zahir, knowing full well that she can't use her bending, mind you. That to go into the spirit world and attack Zahir in Jaibao's Grove. Which I'm like, really, Korra? You're gonna go attack alone, obviously against a guy who knows his shit around airbending. You're gonna okay, and without your airbending, that's good too. You do remember that he was dangerous before he had his airbending, right? Okay, alright. But here's where I forgive it. Here's where I forgive the bullheadedness, because this helps. So, Korra goes into Jaibao's Grove and is like, Fight me! Fight me, Zahir! Paraphrasing. And what happens next is, someone's coming over, and we're thinking, oh, it's Zahir. Then, boom! It's Iroh! It's Iroh! And I'm like, Iroh! And I'm pretty sure all of you guys are like, Iroh! So Iroh comes in, and he kind of knows the situation, but he's kind of like, well, I can't do anything, I'm in the spirit world. And he was actually, like, he found them by accident, but the spirit world has a way to bring people together, apparently, through, in times of need. So Iroh has a conversation with Korra, and she says, well, I'm just like Avatar 1, who couldn't get any help from his past lives because he was the first Avatar. Now I'm probably the last Avatar, and I'm going to pretty much be screwed over because, Zahir's going to wipe out the entire airbending race, and I don't know what to do. So Iroh comes up with an interesting idea. Even though she can't talk to Aang, Korra does have someone who's the next best thing. Zuko's still around. Go talk to Zuko. We find out that Zuko was one of Aang's best advisors. They were the closest of friends after the whole events of the 100-Year War. And Zuko was sometimes Aang's advisor, and I'm like, great! Now we have a real reason to have Zuko in here rather than fan service. I mean, he's been helping the plot along, but I thought we'd lose track of him after Tonraq and Zuko lost to Catch Pali. I really thought that was going to be... I was actually starting to think, oh my god, did they just forget about Zuko? I mean, did you just bring him in for that scene? I don't know. But Zuko, it's nice to see that they're now giving a reason to Zuko to be around rather than, oh, here's Zuko, guys. You remember that character you liked so long ago? Here's Zuko again. Because that's what it almost felt like. I'm not trying to sound like a dick here, but it almost felt like that because we didn't see Zuko again, and I was actually surprised to see Zuko again in the last episode. Because after the whole events with Tonraq, Eska, and Desna and Zuko trying to keep Pali from being broken out of prison, they they kind of just stopped talking about Zuko and Tonraq and all of them. And it wasn't until Lin got in touch with Tonraq again where I was like, oh, are they going to bring back Zuko again? They do, and now they have I actually feel like they have a real reason to have him here. So good on them for that. It's nice to see him come full circle with Zuko again. So Korra, thanks to Iroh's advice, goes to Zuko. And Zuko is about to leave. And he has a good reason for it. It's not like, oh, these guys are powerful, I gotta get the fuck out. It's more like his daughter's the new Fire Lord, as we all remember. And if Zahir is attacking, if he's attacking world leaders, then his daughter is on the chopping block pretty much. So he has to go back and protect his daughter and the rest of his family. I was kind of hoping he would say, my wife May is there. Maybe she passed away. Maybe she's old and still grouchy. Maybe she's old and very grouchy now. Anyway, I digress. That's just a fun thought. Old Lady May. Anyway, so Zuko gives Korra counsel and tells her pretty much that, look, the Return of the Airbenders was Aang's greatest. Aang wanted that to be his greatest accomplishment, and he wanted nothing more than the Airbenders to come back. And I think that he would, pretty much be willing to sacrifice anything, and even himself, to make sure if the Airbenders could come back, he'd do it. So Korra takes into consideration of giving herself up, but Zuko says, not exactly. I'm pretty sure you'll find your own way. I'm just giving you a heads up on everything. And then suddenly, Mako runs back and says, hey, we finally got in touch with Tenzin and all that. Also, oh my god, I cannot believe I forgot this. I am so sorry, guys. I completely forgot this, but I need to back this up to explain the whole situation further. I am so sorry because I totally lost my train of thought right there. Just kind of broke off. But the reason why Zuko's leaving and where they're trying to get in contact with Tenzin is that they want to find a radio signal that can reach the Northern Air Temple. So they go back to Zaofu, and Lin's there, and she kind of conveniently says that, they can't get in touch with the Northern Air Temple. I'm like, Again, I'm still under I'm still under the theory that Sue might backstab them. I'm still in that kind of that theory right there, is that she may be working with the Red Lotus. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't, because then it would be like, ugh, another evil sibling. We just had this in the past 2 seasons. But anyway, I'm still kind of under that impression. But anyway, yes, they go back to Zaofu, try to get in contact with the Northern Air Temple. Korra tries to confront Zahir in the spirit world, and finds Iroh instead. And Iroh tells her to go find Zuko. She talks to Zuko, and yeah. So sorry about that. I do apologize that I completely left that plot point out. I am so sorry. Also, can I bring something up real quick? This is just a personal thing, but it feels like everyone can get to everywhere in a hop, skip, and a jump. Oh, I'm fucking serious. No, I'm fucking serious. Remember when, it would take sometimes, almost, days for characters to reach Ba Sing Se? Remember how long the trip was to Ba Sing Se, even when it was on Appa? Well, then again, they were doing, little side quests here and again, so maybe I'll forgive them for that in Last Airbender. But it did take a while to get to places, didn't it? But yeah, everyone can just get to everywhere in the 4 nations. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just want to bring that up, that everyone can get everywhere really quick. But what was I saying? Ah, yes. So they finally get in touch with Bolin gets in touch with the Airbenders. And, of course, we have this comedic moment between Milo and Bolin. Not funny. And Korra gets in contact with, finally, Tenzin. And she says, look, Zahir's coming to fuck your shit up. Get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out right now. And then she hears, oh no. And then she's like, what? Well, what's wrong? He's here. And you see Zahir and his crew, all of this airship, looking down on him, and you're like, oh, fuck! And this is where we, this is where we lose touch with Korra. Korra now the story with Korra is now kind of done with. The second half of the story is all about Tenzin trying to protect the Airbenders from Zahir's group. And, yeah, this is where it got really awesome, guys. I mean, there were little bumps here and there because there's like haha she like I said earlier that Bolin's grandmother Yin's kind of annoying. It's almost like she's like, I'm going to take a nap when they're having this big problem, or when she's like still worshiping the Earth Queen, or when she had this funny moment, well, not funny moment with Mako, Asami, and Korra, and she's like, these are nice ladies. Why have you found a nice young girl yet? And I'm like, haha, it's funny because she's old. Ha 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 ha. Sorry. You see, it's not funny. That's the sarcastic laugh. Anyway. So, like I said, the second half is where it gets really good. And what happens is that the Red Lotus capture all of the airbenders, and they're all forced into one room, and Zahir pretty much tells them straight up, look, I'm tired of running after Korra, and you guys, none of you will be hurt if, you guys comply and hand over Korra. And Tenzin's like, I ain't having this shit. So then Tenzin goes into badass mode and fights Zahir, and Bumi and Kaya take on Minghua and Gazan, while the rest of the airbenders are trying to escape from Pali, who's in an airship shooting down at them. So this is where it got really cool, because we got Tenzin versus Zahir in an airbending battle, and dear lord, that airbending fight was awesome. Like, seriously, they're jumping off of walls, shooting air at one another. It is one of the coolest points of this episode. And seeing Bumi and Kaya fight Minghua and Gazan, it's the children of Aang versus the Red Lotus. I'm like, this is the coolest fight we've had in a while. And they've had some damn good action scenes in here. But Kaya takes on Minghua, while Bumi takes on Gazan, and they really match up their fighting styles really well. Tongue-tied, Kaya is battling another waterbender who's literally can give her enough ammo to fight back, and she and Minghua have some really, punch-ups between each other. Meanwhile, Bumi has this very unique style to him. Even remember, he was a fighter before he was a non-bender. I mean, an airbender. He couldn't airbend. Tongue-tied again. I am getting really ahead of myself here. But, pretty much, Bumi's unique fighting style mixed with his airbending makes him more than a match with Gazan. And it's actually kind of a funny moment, because he, pulls on Gazan's hair, he's biting him, and it's really cool to see how Bumi's fighting style mixes with his airbending. But the best one out of the three is, I'm kind of torn, because the fight between Kaya and Minghua is really awesome, but the fight between Zahir and Tenzin is equally frickin' epic. And yeah. So cutting back real quick to to Tenzin's family and the other airbenders, they're trying to get to the Sky Bison, and what happens is that Pali is shooting down on them and keeping them from reaching the Sky Bison, and Kai decides, you know what, I'm going to draw her line of fire. And for a second I'm thinking, is Kai going to die? I mean, Kai was never... I don't hate Kai as much as I did, but he was never a character. I was like, I never had any... For Kai, I never really had any character... any investment in his character. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate him as much as I did at the beginning, but I was just like, you're just a character now. Like, you're just there to me. You're not one of my favorite characters, but I can tolerate you. And I was thinking to myself, is Kai gonna fucking die? Like, that went through my head. And for a second I was like, whoa, and I'll get to that in a second. But getting back to the fight between all of, Tenzin's family versus the Red Lotus. And, like I said, Tenzin actually this is the first time we've seen Tenzin actually fight. I mean, yeah, Tenzin's fought before, but we've never really seen him use all of his airbending power. And this is where he is cutting loose, and this is the first time that Zahir has been put on the ropes. Like, you could say, back in Zaofu that, his team kind of looked like amateurs, but I thought back on it, and I was like, well, they weren't really prepared. It was meant to be a stealth mission. They weren't really prepared to run into, any trouble. So I kind of forgave him for that. This is the first time, with prep time, that Zahir was taken to the limit in his fight with Tenzin. Tenzin's been doing his airbending shit longer than, Zahir. So he would obviously be more experienced, and put him on the ropes. And Kaya, for the most part, held her own against Minghua. But Minghua cheats and makes multiple arms and takes down Kaya, and Bumi gets taken down by Gazan. And, yeah. But then we cut back to Kai, who's trying to draw police fire, and she shoots his ass down. And, like, he makes an airbending wall around him, but you see this explosion, then you just see him fall to the ground, and that's where I was like, did Kai just die? Did they just kill a kid? There's also in the back of my mind that, Kai didn't die. There was also in the back of my, I don't think they would kill a kid off right at the first sight. But yeah, Kaya and Bumi are also blown off of a cliff and probably got some broken bones or bruised ribs or something of that caliber, because they fell down a whole mountain cliff. So I'm like, man, you are not going to be feeling good in a few minutes. So we cut back to finally Tenzin and Zahir, Tenzin's still taking it to Zahir, but, you know, Zahir's a good fighter too. Then in come the rest of come Gazan and Minghua, and they just gang up on him, and they beat the shit out of him. Like, I'm like, oh, Tenzin, just stay down. Dude, just stay down. And Tenzin is like pretty much tells him, as long as I'm not done until I stop drawing breath. And then this is a shot that made me go, is Tenzin gonna die? Because then we cut away of this far range shot of Gazan, Zahir, and Minghua just beating him to, like, you see him pinned against a wall, getting beaten mercilessly, and then it cuts away. I'm like, oh my god, are they killing off Tenzin? And then it cuts back to Kai, who is saved by the will of reasons. He's caught on a branch, then a little baby air bison picks him up and they fly off. And that's where the episode ends. I was literally like, really? You're going to stop? Because I honestly said, that's it? I literally said out loud, that's it? That's where we're going to cut off? It would have been a better cutoff point if you had that scene of just Tenzin getting beaten up, because then it would have been like, oh my god. Oh my god. Because now I'm kind of like, this is the part where I'm like, oh my god, I am super excited for the next episode. But then it had that little moment of Kai going, let's go, Sky Bison, I'm kind of unharmed. Alright, I guess. But no, this episode was just really good. I enjoyed it. The first half had its moments, but that second half, oh my god, that second half. But yes, I am really enjoying this season. I'm really sad to see this go, yeah. I am really sad to see, The Legend of Korra go. I know, it's weird. It's really, really strange because for the past two seasons, like, it's just been like a chore to watch it. But now, Season 3 has been awesome. It has been nothing but straight awesomeness. And, well, they did have its bumps here and there, and Bolin still irritates me. But for the most part, it's been really good. And I'm going to be kind of sad when I see it go. That's going to be really next week we're pretty much getting the two-part season finale, and then we get season 4, which won't be for next year. And I'm like, man, it is just gone. Damn. But yeah, I am more than excited. This episode was really good. It left off on a cliffhanger that made me go, are they gonna seriously kill off a major character? And they've killed off characters before, not just in Korra, but in Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I would not be surprised, but I'd be really sad if, like, next season, like the next episode, they're like, where's Tenzin? And they just toss his, and Zahir just tosses his, like, broken airbending necklace, air nomad necklace to Korra and says, there he is, or something like that. So yeah, they could kill off Tenzin. I'm not saying, they might not, they might beat him up, but they left off making me literally go, oh my god, Tenzin could be killed, and we may not, and this might be the last time we see Tenzin. So yeah. Anyway, guys, once again, love this episode. You guys tell me what you think of all this, and I will see you guys later.